This is a world of swords and magic. The male protagonist Luan wakes up in a room. His brother asks him to get up to meet his father. His brother nonchalantly expresses his dissatisfaction with Luan on the way. This is different from the male protagonist. A similar person is that his father is also the lord of this place. Because Luan has been at level 1 for 15 years at home and has not acquired any magic skills. People without magic skills are not recognized by anyone in this world. His father decided to put him kicked out of the house. Luan was not sad when he left home. He was a very powerful warrior in his previous life. In this world, he just wants to be an ordinary person and live a peaceful life. Two dog-like monsters were attacking two people. One of the female knights fought hard, but the monsters could be resurrected no matter how they were killed. The knight asked the princess to escape, but she was unwilling. Luan discovered that one of them was the one he had met when he was a child. When Luan was young, he had a marriage contract with the princess, but because he had no magic talent, he was not favored by others. Everyone looked down on him, but the princess always supported him firmly. For his stable life, Luan didn't want his strength was exposed. But when he saw the princess who had always trusted him, he decided to help her. After the female knight was seriously injured by the monster, Luan drew his sword and attacked the monster. Luan used his own skills to analyze the weaknesses of the monsters and found that as long as they destroyed their core, able to kill the devil dog, he used his sword skills to defeat the devil dog. The female knight was seriously injured and was about to die. Luan used powerful healing magic to cure her. They were shocked and thought that Luan had skills that even the church had never discovered. But Luan did not explain that this was the magic of his previous life. Luan asked why they were here, and the princess said that she had received a prophecy from God to go to a village. Luan used magic to repair the damaged carriage. He followed the princess to the village. The princess was shocked when she learned that Luan was exiled. As a princess, after knowing Luan's power, she did not choose to make his abilities public and let him help the country. After arriving at the village, they found that the residents of the village were watching something. A girl was pushed to the ground by the village chief. The princess recognized her as Agila, the brave man of their country. Agila had already forgotten the princess, but as the princess told her, she just remembered what happened in the past. The brave man was not good at remembering people's names. They learned that the brave man was looking for the evil dragon. It turned out that the brave man met a child who was sacrificed to the evil dragon. She was kind-hearted and decided to kill the evil dragon, so she came. After asking the village chief for information about the evil dragon but was rejected, Agila decided to defeat the evil dragon princess. The prophecy she got was to help the brave, so she decided to go together. Luan and his own traveling princess did not want Luan to adventure with her. So the princess broke up with Luan, but the princess was Luan's friend, so he decided to go along. They came to the foot of the mountain where the dragon lived. Agila suggested that she attack from the front, and the others went around to attack from behind the dragon. The princess was worried about Agila's safety, but she was very insistent. Luan said that he should attack from the front, but Agila seemed to know his strength and didn't want him to defeat the evil dragon alone. She told Luan that she wanted to have a showdown with Luan after defeating the evil dragon. After the combat meeting, Agila began to rush in from the front. Luan and the princess planned to behind the detour of the dragon. They analyzed why Luan's family did not discover the existence of the evil dragon. Because Luan's family was very powerful, they all agreed that Luan's family was using the majesty of the dragon to manage the peace on the border. However, Luan said that it was not that simple. A red evil dragon spit out flames at Akira. Akira summoned thunder and lightning to attack, but it had no effect. The evil dragon laughed and taunted Akira that his attack was too weak. Akira said that he would use all his strength, but the evil dragon took out the little boy came to threaten Agila. The evil dragon said that he didn't like eating humans, he just liked to kill humans. He just wanted to have some fun in his long life. The angry brave Agila used her unique trick. When she thought the dragon had been defeated, the dragon continued to taunt Agila for its weak attack and used its tail to defeat Agila. Just when the dragon was about to use dragon fire to kill Agila, Luan and the princess rushed to Luan to use it. The sword cut off the dragon's wings. The princess and the female knight hurriedly checked Agila's injury. Luin mocked the dragon for being too weak. The evil dragon rushed towards Luin angrily, but was repulsed by Luin's sword energy. The evil dragon asked curiously why Luin could hurt him, but received no response from Luin. The evil dragon and Luin started fighting. The dragon wanted to spit out dragon flames and attack the princess, but Luin used his special skills to kill the evil dragon. But Luin also became very weak, and his sword was also damaged in the battle. Luin rested next to a tree, and the princess was with him. Agila and the female knight were competing with each other with swords. Jiden Luin learned that the princess's other identity was the healing saint. The princess was very ashamed for hiding this from Luin, but he didn't care and still regarded the princess as a friend. When it was time for Akira and the princess to separate, because of the child, she was very dependent on Agila, so she adopted him. Agila expressed her regret for Ren's sword. She felt that Ren was more suitable to be a hero than her, and wanted to give her sword to him, but Ren refused. The scene came to Ren's father. He was shocked to know that the dragon was defeated. He originally planned for the dragon to kill the hero, but his plan failed because of Luin and the princess. Luin's brother complained about why the monster did not kill the princess. Luin's father and brother planning to kill the hero and the princess. Luin's father hates this country and God for some unknown reason. Luin and the princess went to find a famous swordsmith to make a new sword. On the carriage, the princess expressed her apology to Luin. She thought that Luin was in danger because of her own reasons. But Luin was not angry. In the evening, they planning to rest in the forest. When the female knight was preparing to light a fire, Luin used magic to light the branches directly. The tired princess accidentally lay on Luin's lap. She apologized to Luin shyly. The female knight said that they were once engaged. There was no problem for a moment. Luin smiled and said that he allowed the princess to lie on his lap, but the princess was still shy and said she couldn't. The princess finally lay on Luin's shoulders and fell asleep. Luin looked at the moon and remembered the first time he and the princess were young. On the day they met for the first time, the moon was the same as now. The princess told him that she was his fiancée. They came near the swordsmith's house that the princess knew. The princess told Luin that this was a very powerful swordsmith who could make Luin a sword he was satisfied with. The female knight did not hear the sound of the hammer and thought she might not at home. Luin walked forward and found that the door was not locked and could be opened directly. After they entered, they kept calling the name of the swordsmith Noel. They found that the walls were full of weapons. Luin recognized these weapons very much, and the princess suddenly screamed. When they got up, they walked over and found Noel lying on the ground. The princess thought she was dead, but the female knight helped her up very calmly. The female knight knew that Noel was a very dedicated person and would do it every time she forged a sword. After working until she fainted, they helped Noel up and used a recovery spell on her. When Noel woke up, she saw the familiar princess and female knight. She asked Luin who she was and learned that Luin wanted her to create a sword. Although she was the princess's friend, she still refused the princess's request. She said that she had many orders and was too busy. But when she saw Luin's damaged sword, she changed her mind. She used his magic to see Azuru's sword has been used to its limit. She knew that someone who could use a sword to its limit must be unusual. She believed that an excellent sword could only be made by meeting an excellent user. She asked Ren if he wanted to own one. The sword beyond the holy sword. They were kicked out by Ren when she stated that he needed a good sword and that she would devote herself to forging the sword. The princess knew that once she started working, she would not stop, and they planned to go to town. Stay for a while. A figure appeared in the woods. This was Luin's father's subordinates. They were here to deal with the princess. They were curious about who Luin was and planned to test Luin. Obviously, they were Luin's father's subordinates but did not know Luin. In the hotel, Luin discussed with the princess the situation. What to do? Luin decided to go to the guild first to sell the materials obtained from defeating the evil dragon. When Luin was leaving, the female knight told the princess that what they were about to do was very difficult and might need Luin's help, but the princess did not want to give Luin anything. Bringing trouble? When Luin went to the guild to exchange materials, the trader was shocked. She didn't listen to Luin's call and ran to find the store manager. The two people who appeared in the forest talked to Luan about the dragon scales on his hands. Tell Luan that they like adventure stories, so they like to deal with adventurers. They learned that Luan got the scales with the brave men, so they lost interest in him. They thought Luan was just a small character. In a corner, they were talking about Luan. One thought Luan was just a small character with no skills, but the girl thought Luan was a very powerful person. Luan and the princess returned to Noelle's house. They saw her fainting and used reply on her spell. The first thing she did when she woke up was to tell Luan that his sword was ready. Luan picked up the sword and expressed his approval to Noelle. Noelle couldn't wait to go with Luan to experiment with the power of the sword. On the way, Noelle told Ren that the sword needed to be adjusted to reach its best condition. Ren asked why Noelle, as an elf, became a swordsmith. The most suitable person to become a swordsmith should be a dwarf. Noelle told Ron about her childhood. She was picked up by a dwarf and taught her the sword-making experience. Although the dwarf did not teach her the skills of sword-making, she actively chose the same career as the dwarf. Luan used monsters in the forest to test the sharpness of the sword, but when they entered the depths of the forest encountering a vicious wolf, Noelle developed a strong hatred after seeing the wolf and told Luan to kill it.